Can you really grow your own food without a backyard? This is my brand new self-watering raised garden bed from the Backyard Farmers that I just put together on my deck over there, and I've popped it down here just at the end of the deck so that it gets a little bit of sun in the morning. It's on wheels, it waters itself, and best of all, anyone can grow food with one of these, even if you live in an apartment. Let me show you how I put it all together and planted it out, and we'll talk about the cost as well. Okay, so it comes with 3 parts. So this is the trolley that's on wheels, and then we've got the tub over there behind the cover, and then the cover goes on top. So let's put this together first, and we'll see how long this takes. One of the things I love about this raised garden bed is that you don't need a backyard to grow your own food. You can set it up anywhere, on a deck, a balcony, or even a small patio, as long as it gets some sun. It's perfect for renters or anyone short on space because it's on wheels, so you can move it around easily and even take it with you when you move. And being self-watering means your veggies stay hydrated for days, even if you forget to water or go away on holidays. Even if you didn't want to get the cover or trolley due to cost, you could still buy the tub, which is a really good size, for $149 and place it on a balcony and grow plenty of food, and the tub itself is self-watering. That's cheaper than any large-sized pot. You could even have a couple on your deck or balcony. There's one end. You can grow things like lettuce, herbs, capsicum, brassicas, carrots, spring onions. The possibilities are endless. Honestly, I think anything that makes growing your own food more accessible is worth it, and this little raised bed proves that you don't need a big backyard to start your own veggie patch. You'd be surprised how much food you can grow in a setup like this. This trolley is actually quite heavy as it's made of steel, which means it will last a long time. It's really good quality. I had to get Kevin to come and do up the nylon lock nuts as they were so hard to do up, and I was very disappointed that I couldn't do them up myself and had to get him to help me. I was skitzing out a little bit at that stage, so lucky he was around to come to the rescue. So there was a nice tray to put underneath for storage. So that was the hardest part done, putting the trolley together. Luckily the rest of it was quite easy. This tray is the water reservoir that is the self-watering component of the raised bed, and the big tub is obviously where you plant everything. So I guess you can put water on both sides. I have my save already. I did that on the wrong side, didn't I? Okay, so that is it all put together. Only took me an hour and a half. So these nylock screws down here were a nightmare because all they gave me was this tiny spanner. So I had to go and get a ratchet from Kevin's toolbox, and I got him to do them up because I was having a bit of a skits at that point. But other than that, it wasn't too bad to put together. There's a little caddy here to put your tools and things in, which is kind of cool. So let's fill it up and plant some stuff out into it. And these open up on both sides, and you just roll it up and tie it at the top here. So if you want to get some airflow during the day or some pollinators getting in here, you can open it up and then close it at night if you want to keep the pests out. But yeah, let's go fill it up. I just found these two rods, which I'm assuming go in the bottom of these to make it a bit stiffer, which will make it easier to roll up too. It'll put weight on those doors, so that'll make it a bit better. So just go on one side. Okay, so it goes on this side. Okay, that's better. It's more weight there. All right, so it's the next day. I ran out of time yesterday afternoon, had to get some other things done. So today we're gonna fill this up with some compost and chicken manure. I've got some leftover pots that I was growing tomatoes and potatoes in that I need to put that soil in here because I don't want to reuse it for more potatoes and tomatoes. Even though I am putting in one tomato plant in here, that'll be fine. So yeah, so let's fill that up now and we'll get to planting this bed out. Some worms in here. I don't know whether to leave these worms in here or not. I'm actually worried these are the Asian jumping worms because they're quite big and wriggly. I think I might take them out. Okay, I'm just gonna add this soil from this grow bag that had potatoes in it, just to get rid of it because I can't really use it anywhere else, so it might as well go in here. And I'll just amend it with chicken manure and things like that to bring it back to life, because the problem with using potato soil twice is the risk of blight, which I think it takes more than once or twice for that to happen, but I don't want to risk it. And when I filled this grow bag up, I put a bunch of leaves in the bottom, so they look like they've composted down really well now, which is cool. So I grew some King Edward potatoes in this bag and actually got decent sized potatoes, which was good because I fertilized with potash halfway through the growing season of this grow bag, and I think that made a difference. I didn't get many potatoes because when I healed them up, I covered 3 of the plants and they never grew through the compost that I was hilling them up with, so I kind of ruined them. Interesting to see how well this moves once it's full of dirt, how heavy it is. Okay, starting to get there. And then I'm just going to pop some of the good compost on top that's full of nutrients and things, because I'm going to be growing mostly salad things in here because it's a bit of a shaded area. It gets morning sun and then shade for the rest of the day, so it'll be a good spot to grow lettuce in summer. But in winter it gets a lot of sun, so it'll be a good spot to grow brassicas through winter. So that's why I wanted it for this area. Okay, so that grow bag filled it up quite a lot. That's pretty much at the top now, so I'm just gonna throw probably 2 bags of the garden compost on top because that's nice and fresh full of nutrients, and we'll start planting it out. First thing I want to get in is these lettuce, because they are desperate to get into the ground. I've had them in this cell for way too long. So this is Paris Island Coles lettuce. So I'm going to pop those down this end, because this end gets shaded first. I've also got a dwarf Bendigo Lush tomato. So I'm going to pop that on this end because that gets a bit more sun. I don't know how it's going to go because it's not going to get full sun all day, but we'll see. It's an experiment. So let's get these in the ground now. So there was 3 in that one cell, so I've just separated them out. Hopefully that will do okay. I just ripped them apart really. Oh gosh, there's heaps in this one, so I might just get rid of that little one. So we've got another 3 here, and I'm planting these quite closely together, so we'll see how they go. So I'm literally just trying to tease them apart without damaging them too much. So there's 1. Two, 3. I think these will be happy to get in the ground. And I might do another 3. Okay, so we've got 10 in there now. So next up I've got some sprouting broccoli, which was given to me by someone that follows this channel. So hi Lauren, thanks for the sprouting broccoli. So I went and met her a few weeks ago at her place and had a look at her garden, which is looking amazing. She's doing a container garden, so she had some leftover sprouting broccoli. So we're going to throw that in. I don't know how it's going to go because it is quite warm now, but we'll give it a go, and I'll pop this on the end as well where it gets a bit more sun. I'm not holding out too much hope, but you just never know, so I'll just break these up. It's quite dry. Okay, so they're in the end there finally, and growing some kale the other day, but the seeds must be old, so I just got this one when I was at the nursery the other day, so we'll throw this in. So it looks like there's about 2 lots of kale here, so let's separate those and throw them in. And our bush tomato, our dwarf bush tomato. I've got to pop that in, so I'll pop that in the middle here. So I've never grown this variety before, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes and how big it gets. Done. We'll give that a water in now. And this section down here is where you can fill it up as well for watering. But I'm just going to let this soak through. Okay, so that is all planted out now. So we've got the sprouting broccoli on the end, some kale, a dwarf tomato there, some more kale, and this is all Paris Island Coles lettuce. I probably could pop some spring onions in between all of this to fill it up even more, but I'm just gonna leave it like that for now and see how it goes. So 3 weeks later, everything is growing really well. The lettuce survived me ripping it apart at the roots. The sprouting broccoli has doubled in size. The kale's doubled in size. The only thing that's lagging is the tomato, which I think because it's not getting enough sun, but everything is looking great. I'm really happy with this raised self-watering garden bed, and I hope you find inspiration in this video to start your own garden if you haven't already. It's a great way to get started if you don't have land or a backyard. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.